Everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. We have officially made it to the Super Bowl for our London Black Knights franchise. So this will conclude Season 1, and I am going to begin Season 2 either today or tomorrow. So, the playoff bracket, aka the road to the Super Bowl, was pretty simple for our Black Knights. In the wildcard weekend, we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the divisional round, we beat the Cleveland Browns. And in the AFC Conference Championship game, we beat the Baltimore Ravens, which I will have all of those videos in the links in the description if you guys want to check them out if you haven't already. And our opponents are the New York Giants. So for the New York Giants, they began the wildcard weekend with the victory over the Arizona Cardinals, and the divisional round over the Philadelphia Eagles, another win, and they beat the Chicago Bears in the NFC Conference Championship game to advance to the Super Bowl. And we'll be playing in Arlington, Texas. So without further ado, we'll see you at kickoff.
Super Bowl 56. Dalton and the London Black Knights versus Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
This episode is all on the line. This is the race for the Lombardi Trophy. As they have said it in past Super Bowls, who wants it more? Who wants the Lombardi the most? We'll find out today in this gameplay. So, the New York Giants, they get to return this. They get stopped at the 32-yard line. We get to see Daniel Jones stepping onto the field for the first time in this episode. And I'm thinking that they're going to do a passing play. So they're going to throw this to Saquon Barkley, the Penn State product. He gets stopped at the 40-yard line. Gain of 8 yards on that pass play by Daniel Jones. So that will be a 2nd and 2. They're basically at the single back formation. They're going to run this out, and he's going to get that first down at the 45 for a gain of 5 yards on that play. So 1st and 10 for the New York Giants. So they're going to actually run the football with Saquon Barkley. He uses a juke move, and he only gained about 3 yards on that play. So this will be a 2nd and 7 from the 48-yard line. So he is going to throw this football. That's going to be incomplete. 1 for 2 there with 8 yards by Daniel Jones. And that will be a 3rd down and 7 now from the 48-yard line with only 2:20 to go in the first quarter. And he actually throws this pass, and it's going to be incomplete. So this means they have to punt this out. And Antonio Brown will be ready to return the punt here for the London Black Knights. And he punts this away. It goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So we get to see Andy Dalton stepping onto the field for the first time in this episode. And Andy Dalton will play the first half for the London Black Knights, and then Joe Flacco for maybe the second half. He throws this to Antonio Brown, and he has broad daylight as he will get stopped at the 21. A gain of 55 yards there on that play. So that's going to be a 1st and 10. We're going to use a run play featuring Frank Gore. Andy Dalton hands this off to Gore, and he is still on his feet whatsoever. He does get stopped at the 16 for a gain of 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 now here for the London Black Knights. So Andy Dalton, he is going to throw this one to Rob Gronkowski. They did say he was injured last episode towards the end of the game, but for some reason he came back not injured. I don't know why. Probably EA made that decision. So they're going to throw this to Rob Gronkowski for the first touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Black Knights lead this one 7-0. And we'll see you guys in the second quarter. Alright, now first down and 10 from the 19-yard line. And Daniel Jones, he's going to throw this one to Kenny Golladay. No, not Kenny Golladay. Dante Pettis. And we're going to use goal line formation. They're actually going to, I think, run the ball with Saquon Barkley. And they actually get this one into the end zone for a touchdown, making the game tied 7-7 here in Arlington, Texas. Alright, now it is kickoff time here in Arlington, Texas. The London Black Knights are ready to return this kickoff with Golden Tate. And he is going to return this one, and he gets stopped at the 32-yard line. So that will be a first down and 10. 36-yard return. And we're going to use a PA post shot there on first down and 10. So Andy Dalton, he is going to throw this out to Justin Jefferson. He does get a first down, but apparently Mike Pouncey appears to be down and injured. And let's see if he will return or not. Andy Dalton whatsoever, he's ready to throw this football. He's going to pass this out to Antonio Brown. He uses that juke move, and he jumps on into the end zone for the Black Knights, and they're going to lead this one 14-7 with a 42-yard touchdown reception. We'll see you guys when we're on defense. Okay, first down and 10 from the 31-yard line here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The fumble, and Sheldon Rankins makes that fumble recovery, and he claims it into the end zone. So the ball was snapped out of Daniel Jones's hands. So this play was very similar to the Wild Card Weekend matchup back on January 10th of this year between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will explain that after the break. So as of now, the London Bulldogs lead it 21-7. Alright, it is fourth down and 15 now here for the London Black Knights. So they kick for the New York Giants, and the London Black Knights are ready to return with Antonio Brown. And he is going to return this punt, and he gets stopped at the 47. And that was a 37-yard return. So I am basically going to run the football. We're going to use a goal line formation, power O run play featuring running back Frank Gore. So Andy Dalton hands this off to Frank Gore. He uses that juke move, and he's going to use another one. And he gets stopped at the 30-yard line. 2 rushes, 28 yards. And that's going to be a first down and 10. So I'm going to use a strong formation here for the offense. And we're going to use a 866 hook pass play. But 40 seconds to go in the first half. I'm going to throw this out to Gronk. And he's going to get stopped at the 12. So 155 passing yards for Andy Dalton. This isn't bad. We're near at 200 is what I like. That's what I like to see from quarterbacks. I mean, chances are Gronk will likely be the Super Bowl MVP, possibly. I mean, if he keeps this great performance up of not dropping passes and claiming receptions and scoring touchdowns, yeah, I'm fine with Gronk being our MVP. But I'm going to take that time out here. And I am going to use the 8, that final play, with 2 seconds to go in the first half. Dalton throws this to Gronk, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Black Knights. We'll see you guys in the second half. Alright, since we kicked off the first half, we get to return for the second half. And they're going to kick this off, the New York Giants, and Golden Tate, he's ready to return this kickoff here for London, and he's going to get stopped at the 29. We get to see Joe Flacco stepping onto the field for the first time in this episode. Yes, he will play for the third quarter, and I'm possibly thinking of doing Cam Newton for the fourth. Flacco, anyways, he's going to throw this to Gronk, And Gronk uses that juke move. He has nearly over 100 receiving yards. And he is going to take this to the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. And this is a 71-yard touchdown reception by Gronk. And I think this will be his third. It is his third touchdown reception of the game. So we're going to take a small break, and we'll see you guys when we're back on offense. The New York Giants lost the fumble during that small break we had, and we recovered it. So I believe it was Jerry Hughes that claimed that fumble recovery. New York Giants do claim their second turnover of the game. Joe Flacco throws that football that time. It's incomplete. Now we're going to use the Texas pass play. And our primary receiver will be Gronk. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to throw this to Rob Gronkowski. And he does get a touchdown for this London Black Knights team. And this will be his fourth receiving touchdown of the game. And they are leading this 43-7. Okay, first down and 10, 3:23 to go in the third. Saquon Barkley runs the football. He gains about 2 yards on that play. So he's had 7 carries, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. And that touchdown that he scored wasn't a very long run. It was only for like 2, maybe 3 yards. And he gets sacked. The ball is out. Ed Oliver recovers the fumble here for London. And that will be New York's, I think, third turnover of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's their third. So they're going to hand this off to Devin Singletary, who did not play a whole lot this regular season, because we like to start off Leonard Fournette. And primarily, the fact of the matter is that we had Frank Gore and Ty Gurley as our running backs. We haven't really used a whole lot of Leonard Fournette later in the season because he had that grueling injury for the last few weeks. So he loses 3 yards on that play. And this will be a second and goal. We're going to use the 94 will run play. And Flacco hands this off to Leonard Fournette, and he gets a touchdown for the London Black Knights, his first rushing touchdown of the Super Bowl, and they will lead this 150-7. Okay, second and 8 now from the 45-yard line. 1 minute to go in the third quarter, and Daniel Jones, he's going to throw this to Evan Ingram, but C.J. Mosley makes that fumble recovery. And this will be the fourth turnover of the game for the New York Giants football team. I mean, fourth turnover. I mean, there's only 54 seconds left in the third quarter. They're not going to have that ability to win that Lombardi because London, they have a huge lead over them by 43 points. I mean, our defense is a really good one, I'd have to admit. But, we like to claim turnovers, and Leonard Fournette jukes and spins, and he will get the touchdown for the Black Knights, and this will be a 36-yarder. We're putting a lot of offense into this, so 57-7 will be the score for the third quarter. We'll see you guys in the fourth. Alright, now, second down and 2 now from the 37 here in Arlington, Texas. Daniel Jones, he is going to throw this football out to Dante Pettis. That will be a first down. 121 yards. He has not scored a single touchdown in this game. So that's pretty interesting because he threw a good amount of yardage and he hasn't scored a single passing touchdown. Evan Ingram claimed that reception. So that's going to be a first and 10 from the 34 with only 3 minutes to go in the fourth. And then we're Super Bowl champions. We'll bring the Lombardi to London. So they're going to throw this one out to Dante Pettis. And that's going to be a second down and 4. The clock's winding down pretty fast here. So the Giants do not want to give up. So they're going to think of their game plan. They don't want to get sacked, but he does by Leonard Floyd, so this will be his first sack of the Super Bowl. And that will be a 3rd and 12 So the New York Giants are going to attempt a 37-yard field goal. It's going to be a really long one. And the question is, do they kick it and make it in? The answer is yes, sirree. They actually do make it in. So this is going to be a kickoff return here for the London Black Knights. So the Giants, they kick this off. And Golden Tate will be ready to return. So Golden Tate, he is going to return this one. And he's going to get stopped at the 28-yard line. Okay, Cam Newton is ready to step onto the field for the first time. And Newton, he does not want to get sacked, so I'm just going to run the ball. And he gets stopped down at the 27. So Leonard Williams made that sack. So it was basically a loss of 2 yards on that play. So second down at 12 now. Cam Newton, he is ready to scramble, and he does not want to get sacked any longer. Dexter Lawrence II makes the sack for the NY Giants. So we're going to make... Clock is winding down pretty fast here in Arlington, Texas. So Cam Newton, he is going to throw this out to Rob Gronkowski. We're going to take a timeout. All right, fourth down and 6 now. 10 seconds to go. And he is going to throw this to Gronkowski, and that's a touchdown. The London Black Knights win the Super Bowl. 5th receiving touchdown this game.
Big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So Rob Gronkowski is your MVP, 9 receptions, 163 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And that's a pretty interesting game to see. So they raise that Lombardi. They're going to take it across the Atlantic to Olympic Stadium in London. And we'll see its statistics. Okay, Andy Dalton, 158.3 pass rating with 3 touchdowns on the day. Joe Flacco had 2 passing touchdowns. Cam Newton only had 1 passing touchdown. Leonard Fournette had 2 rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley only had 1 rushing touchdown in the game. Rob Gronkowski, he had 5 touchdowns, 163 yards, 9 receptions. Super Bowl MVP, AB, had 1 touchdown. So there were no INTs. Malcolm Jenkins, Leonard Floyd, Dexter Lawrence, Thomas Davis, Jordan Poyer all had sacks whatsoever in this game. There were a lot of fumble recoveries. Ed Oliver, Jerry Hughes, CJ Mosley, and Sheldon Rankins. And the only one to get a touchdown was Rankins.